Good evening. It is July 24th, 2024. This is Debbie Davis. So, I wanted to touch on a couple things. I did go to the VA today. I had a physical therapy consultation. I don't know if in case you don't know this, they do have a physical therapy area now at the VA. They never used to have that. And then I just discovered today that they have this area called Center for Integrative Health and Healing that they just added, where you can go and get acupuncture, battlefield acupuncture, individual acupuncture, like yoga. Okay, so at least there are a few different options now at the VAs, like the larger VAs that they didn't used to have. But I've had some issues with the physical therapy areas at the VA, but thankfully I didn't have a police person stalking me. Like I did. I mean, I have to. I have a right to be able to go to a VA appointment without being stalked by the police. I get stalked every day. They drive by my house. They stalk me when I walk my dog, and then I can't even go to the VA. Yeah, I mean, so the police have proven themselves multiple times to me, myself, and Alice, the other targeted individual, has been stalked by the police multiple times. The same type of thing is happening to me, and they are fully involved in the whole New World Order agenda. If you don't have, she just talked about this in a video, and so the police are one of the main people that they're planning on using to take your guns away, because they have all the guns. And I don't know if you noticed, under Obama, they were militarizing the police. They were giving him like Humvee type vehicles. I mean, they have been militarizing and weaponizing the police for years. I mean, just wake up. I mean, and what is that for? Because they were gonna implement, try to take our guns away. And they have this all these people coming over here. It's an invasion. It's an invasion of our country, and the police were a main part of it. That's why they've been weaponizing them. And so somebody like me is a huge threat to their agenda, because I just keep exposing them. They don't have any right to. I mean, they were pulling me over and they were making up charges. I haven't done anything wrong. Okay, so, but what is it? It's not against my constitutional right from freedom of speech. So I haven't done anything wrong. I am telling the truth. I'm a legitimate whistleblower. I have proven this. And there's Arizona National Guard embezzlement scandal. I'm the one who helped uncover that. I'm still waiting. I have not been allowed to even have my court date that I've been waiting for 6 years. So you are the criminals, and I am I'm somebody that served honorably and just reported a crime, and so you're harassing me and just totally embarrassing yourself. I mean, I am a legitimate whistleblower. Everybody knows it, and I was supposed to be, it's illegal, the retaliation that I received in the military, and then I've received continued retaliation out of the military. I was supposed to be protected by a Military Whistleblower Protection Act. Oh boy, was there ever a Military Whistleblower Protection Act? I mean, all the whistleblowers practically in our country are dead now. And so I wanted to just say something really quick about, note many of the whistleblowers and truth tellers, I guess, that are dead now. But the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because, like, when I when I did that video where I was exposing that mechanic the other day. This is a true story. I mean, I went there with a small oil leak. I went for an oil change at the Jiffy Lube off of Highway 81 in Brooklyn Park. And then I had an oil leak ever since then, a small oil leak that was happening. And and then I went in there. I did a video about them too. I mean, did you, what did you do exactly? Because I've had an oil leak ever since I brought it in there. And they take no accountability. It was another mechanic that I'll never go back to. I'll never trust. And so I had this minor oil leak, and this, this guy who lives here, I was mentioning it to a couple people here, and I said, do you know of a good mechanic? And he mentioned these people, this Jim and Greg's. It was a friend of his, I guess. And I went over there. This Alan guy, Alan Capel, who is somebody I've talked about in another video. And he, I believe, is working with the police, and he has been he's like a snitch for the police here. They're all Masons. And so he sent me to this mechanic, and instead of looking, trying to figure out where the oil leak, when I got my car back, I had this huge check engine light on, and I brought it in somewhere else, and they had poured, my whole alternator had a big thing of oil poured into it. And the guy's like, oh, why didn't you bring it back here right away? Oh, really, dude? Why would I ever come anywhere near you or trust you with anything? So, I didn't mention it for a long time because I was like, I called my insurance, and my auto insurance, to see if there was any kind of coverage for something like that on a vehicle, because I had comprehensive coverage. And they said, no, there wasn't. And so then I didn't think that there was anything I could do. And then somebody brought up the other day to me, well, did the mechanic have any, do they have any coverage for that kind of thing? And I didn't even occur to me to think, okay, is a mechanic supposed to have insurance for if they damage a vehicle? I believe they are supposed to have some type of insurance, because they damaged my vehicle. It cost me $500 in damage. I had to get a new alternator, and so it was the part plus labor, so it was about $500 total, and it was a minor oil leak, when I brought it in there. So and so this mechanic, and then he's like, oh, we didn't do that. Oh, well, of course you're gonna say that, dude. Of course you're gonna not admit it. You're a liar, like the rest of the Masons. Of course I know that. But I was just, I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and I said, do you have insurance? Is there any way you can address this? Because I am bringing it up now. I didn't bring it up at first because I didn't know how to handle this. And I was pretty shocked, and then he just acts like they're so immature. It's just like, oh, we didn't do it. Oh, really, dude? Well, you're the one that I brought it into this place. And then when I got it back, I had all this oil poured in. Oh, so it wasn't you? Oh, really? Well, did you bring it somewhere else? Because I left the car with you. They're just such liars. It's unbelievable. And then, but the thing I wanted to say, is that I'm getting these comments, and I've gotten these type of comments before on some other videos, where they like to call me this Karen. They like to refer to me as Karen. Oh, because I'm a white woman that thinks I'm entitled. Apparently a Karen is somebody that, if somebody's partying, or if there's, somebody making too much noise in your neighborhood, they're the ones that go out and call the police on you. Dude, I wouldn't call the police. I'll never call the police. You can promise you that. They would be the last ones I would ever call. So I'm definitely not a Karen. And Karens are I don't think I'm entitled. I'm a very humble person. So for you to call me a Karen, and then third of all, I'm not a Karen. I'm a whistleblower, and a whistleblower is somebody who risks their life, and most of them are dead now, by the way. I'm one of the only few left. The whistleblower is probably the biggest thing you will ever do in your life. I mean, to be a whistleblower, because your whole government comes against you, and it's layers of government that they turn us that comes after you when you're any kind of a government whistleblower. I've had layers of governments after me. The police, the FBI, the CIA. Okay, I mean, to be a whistleblower is the most selfless, not entitled to anything. I risked my life to help my country and to help others. That's to be a whistleblower is the most selfless thing that you could possibly do, because most of us end up dead, and I have almost ended up dead multiple times. So for you to call me a Karen, it just shows like truly how dumb you are, and how totally ignorant you are of how bad things are in this country, and how we know you're totally dirty, and we're just catching you all the time, and the only thing you can say, because I'm totally telling the truth. The only thing the thing they love to say, oh, it's Karen again. Oh, really, dude? My name's not Karen. It's Debbie, and it's Deborah, and I'm a honorable military whistleblower and a veteran. And all you do is by saying these type of things and is show how totally ignorant you are. But I mean, the whistleblowers, there's so many of them that are dead now. I mean, truly, like when you try to report something working for the government, you get on this targeted list. It's a real list, and it's multiple agencies that go after you, and most people don't survive. I mean, it's an absolute miracle that I have survived this, and everybody knows it that knows my whole full story. I've had multiple attempts on my life. I had a plane almost go down. I've talked about this. And we had to, turn back to the runway. It was shaking, and we barely made it back to the runway. We had fire trucks running up to us. So I had a plane almost go down, a Delta flight, and I've had 2 car accidents, major car accidents, like where I got T-boned, That's why I was trying to go to physical therapy at the VA, and the different things that they have to offer there for that. There's a whistleblower named Phil Haney that was a Homeland Security whistleblower that tried to blow the whistle, and I met him personally. There was this lady that was flying people in to speak at this convention center in Aberdeen, South Dakota many years ago, and she was actually paying for their flights and paying them for their time, and she's like she's a really good person in Aberdeen, South Dakota, that had an action network or something like that. Her Sharon Furman, and I was friends with her, and so she brought this guy named Phil Haney in, and he was a Homeland Security whistleblower, and he told his story about how he tried to report when he was working for Homeland Security that they knew that there was a terrorist group that was planning something in it was like a San Bernardino shootings, and he tried telling them, and they didn't listen to anything he had to say. They didn't follow through with anything that he was reporting, and he could have prevented like a bunch of shootings. And so he started realizing that he was working for this agency is not legitimate. The Homeland Security is not legitimate, and like a couple of years later, they said he committed suicide, at wherever he was staying in a trailer, so he's dead now. I mean, I don't know, wasn't this guy Mike Morales that was following the flight patterns or whatever? Like, I mean, I don't know what happened with him, but I guess he's dead now. There's that Isaac Cappy. He was a Hollywood actor that was exposing the pedophilia network very courageously, and they said he committed suicide in Arizona. You know, they this is their favorite term to use, suicide. You know, this is if you really believe that these whistleblowers are committing suicide, all these people. And then there was recently just a Boeing, this guy that was trying to report Boeing, how Boeing, like the maintenance or something, was like super bad, and that it's not safe to fly on certain flights or something. And then he mysteriously ended up dead like 2 days later. I mean, there's a whole list of like over 100 people that have been mysteriously, died around the Clintons. I mean, come on, for real. When are we going to wake up? I mean, our own government and our own police are the enemy. And, I just boldly say these things, because I've survived this far. And, enough people, do know my story now. And they usually try to take you out pretty early on, before you get enough people in your corner, and that, they try to take whistleblowers out before anybody knows who they are, and before they know, you get your story out there. And they did. In the very beginning, they did. They really tried to discredit me. At first, they tried to say, I wasn't even the one that reported the missing money or anything like that. I mean, they're totally just discrediting me, trying to make me look crazy, force me out on a medical. I wasn't, I didn't get out of the military on my own. I was forced out, and then on a medical, even though there was nothing wrong with me. And then they attempted to try to make me look crazy. That was their plan. We'll go ahead and let you get out honorably. Oh well, why wouldn't you not let me get honorably? I haven't done anything. I reported a legitimate crime, but I got threatened. So I mean, this is it's so much corruption in our government that is just unbelievable. But anyway, I just wanted to comment on these Karens, these people. It's these Masons. They've gotten away with this type of thing for years, and they just can't believe that I have the audacity to expose them, or even come up to them and say anything, because they're like, we're the Masons, and we're this whole big powerful group. I don't care who you are. I'm a very strong Christian, and I don't care who you are. You're dirty. You're dirty. You're ugly. You're dirty. You're corrupt. And I'm gonna say the truth. I get. I know my faith has protected me, and but I mean, honestly, like, and especially being a woman, they think, who do you think you are, a woman? That type of attitude. Well, I mean, dude, I got the receipt right here, where I had to go in and buy an alternator cord. It's right here. It was right after I left it here. So, I mean, what are you gonna say? Oh, really, dude? It wasn't you? Oh, who was it then? Mickey Mouse? I mean, they're just ridiculous. So, okay.